How's everybody doing? Good morning, good morning, good morning. I just like to start today. I'm going to, have a couple thank yous. First of all, thank you for all showing up today. It is another great day. In our nation, we continue to do things to just help this institution reach its potential in all facets, in all ways. So a couple thank yous. Obviously, you always want to start with your boss, Dr. Daniel Papp, the president of this institution, who I knows Coach B. He gives us so much support. His vision for this institution, his vision really for athletics and for the students, and it's for community. Without him, we couldn't do what we do. I also want to thank the students, just general students in general. They make it possible for us to have athletics here at Kennesaw State. So you've got to thank the students for what they do and what they bring to the table. And the new Kennesaw State is just thriving. It's just thriving. It's a great time to be here. I want to thank, of course, faculty and staff. Once again, those are the people that educate our student athletes. Those are the people that have really, over the course of the last 5 years, supported everything that we do in athletics. We've got great deans, great faculty, and great staff on this campus. And that makes it the difference at Kennesaw State. The people. That's what makes difference. That's how you impact lives. And now, the student athletes. Obviously, I love each and every one of our student athletes. And our job, as I tell them, as an athletic director, anywhere in this country, but especially at Kennesaw State, is to give them or present to them the environment to reach their potential. That is it. That is what the student athlete experience entails. And that is our driving force. And so with that, I want them to continue to do all the great things that they do for the university, for themselves, for their families, for the communities that they serve, and of course for their teams. And as we try to do everything that we can do to be better every day. Obviously the women's basketball team is here, and I'm excited for them. Very, very excited for them. It is going to be a ride for life, for life, for life, for life. And so I'm really excited for them. Obviously, I want to thank our coaches, athletic department, and staff. We had a department meeting yesterday, and I don't do this enough, so I like to take the opportunity to do it publicly. Please know, I am just a coach of a great team of individuals that go out there every day, unconditionally, to be servant leaders, to serve Kennesaw State, our student athletes, and the community we do. And so we've got a lot of great people on our team. And I tell our team all the time, we impact lives every day. There's one thing that's going to happen at Kennesaw State. We're going to impact lives, and we're going to push the front of reaching our potential. So I want to thank them for everything that they do. A lot of them are here today, and what they do for Kennesaw State. And I appreciate it very, very much. So with those thank yous, obviously today we're going to officially announce Agnus Berenato as the coach. I'm glad I said that really good. That was good. That was good. She'll understand that later. She understands that before. But everybody also asked about the process. And we've been very fortunate to hire some great coaches here. And of course, the last year, obviously, we brought Al Skinner in last year for our men's basketball program around this same time. And I was thinking, what am I going to say? What am I going to say today? What's the direction? And it just came to me. This whole thing was, the coaches will understand this, was like recruiting. This is like signing day for me, right? It was an exciting process. And before I get into that, I want to thank our search advisory committee that Katie Egloff, she chaired, and we met. And it was like a recruiting process. And when you get into these things, there are so many talented coaches out there in the country that really wanted to be here at Kennesaw State. It was very humbling. And so Coach B, and I'll use that frame right now, it's a little easier, Coach B, we recruited. And it's like everything, so I'm going to take you through it. When you're in a recruiting process, you're looking for the fit. You're looking for all those type of criteria. And this started with, you get a call from a friend, or you call a friend and you go, or that might be a coach, and say, hey, who's out there? What's going on? Where's the talent? Well, I got this star. I got this 5-star. And that's kind of what happened. And a call was made. And so, you know, you're always trying to find a recruit that obviously on the surface, when you see it, they're a winner. And she's a winner. And that can be defined in many ways. But yes, let's talk about she's been to the Sweet 16. You know, she's won at Pitt, winning as coach at University of Pittsburgh. She's won at Georgia Tech. So you go, okay, okay, I want a player that can win. Okay, that's good, that's good. What else do they have? I want somebody that's motivated. You're looking for a recruit, a player, a student athlete that's motivated. And you go, okay, hold on, I got a, man, that's motivated. She speaks all over the country about things that are important to everyday person, let alone very motivational speaker. So, okay, motivated, passion. I want a student athlete with passion. Oh, she fits that. Got the passion point. Boy, we met and I was like, oh man. Woo! And people know me, they think I'm passionate, right? She's passionate. So that's what you're trying to find in a student athlete, the passion. Okay, now we got to dig deeper. Okay, what about the character? What else is there? What else is there? Is she a great teammate? Does she develop people? Well, you know, she's got former assistant coaches or players out there that are being head coaches. Former assistant coach won our conference this year at the tournament as a head coach. So we've got that. So now you're going, oh man, develop people. What else? What else? Now we talk about service, being a servant leader at Kennesaw State. There's no way. It's who you have to be or who you will become. And we know that. She serves so many organizations, so many things in the community, both domestic and foreign. The list is long. You need to read that. These are the things that we're looking. That's the fit. Okay, that's good. Well, we got a servant leader. We've got a servant leader. And then we come to the other part, and there's other things, but I don't want to stay up here too long. Family. Impacting lives. She knows what family means, not only to her direct family, and at this moment, I got a chance to spend some time with them this morning. It was a great, I didn't have any coffee, but it was a great breakfast this morning. And I can see and I can feel the love, the energy, and the care in which all of them. So I want to thank her family and definitely her husband, Jack, for allowing us. Let's give him a round of applause. Her family is here today. So those are the things you're looking for to recruit. Now you're going, all right, this is getting exciting. And I know you coaches are sitting here going, they got everything. They checked the box. Now, is it a fit for Kennesaw State? And she is perfectly a fit for Kennesaw State. We talk about being champions in the classroom at academics, being champions in the community, and being champions on the field of competition. I think we talk also about, we might have to add another one, champions for life. There is so many things I can stay up here and talk about. I know her because I was at another school that, you know, played her a lot. So this is, I can't believe, I'm so excited and delighted. I can't believe that we are officially signing her a letter of intent to be a recruit here. And that's how excited I am about it. Like, we got the big fish. And I think it stands for what this university is doing and where we are headed and with leadership and what we need to reach our potential. So I am so delighted. And boy, I can't wait. I'm so excited for our student athletes. I just can't wait. I'm excited for our department and this community to get her going. But and I'm so humbled to announce to you officially your next women's basketball coach, Agnus Berenato.
I was nervous, but then I started listening to Vaughn, and I didn't know who the hell he was talking about, so I'm fine now. So thanks, buddy. Okay, give me 5 on that. Nelson Mandela has a quote: "As we let our own light shine, we unconsciously get other people to do the same." My daughter gave me a card yesterday, and that's what was on it. I think we all have the opportunity to shine, but we have to inspire others to radiate. To Dr. Papp, President Papp, I want to say thank you for having the blind faith in me to bring me to Kennesaw State University. I worked with President Papp when he was at Georgia Tech, as was I. And when I had the opportunity to meet him, I didn't know if I would remember him, and I thought, surely he will not remember me. The minute he walked out of his office and opened his mouth, I'm like, hell yeah, I'm home. President Papp is the same. And the vision that he has continued from Dr. Betty Siegel, whom I worked with for many years at Georgia Tech, and many of my student athletes are here that played for me. We would come out to Kennesaw State when we were D2 in a smaller school, and we would speak for President Siegel. And here I am today, honored to be a part of this team. To Vaughn, your commitment is awesome to the student athlete. I cherish your non-negotiable aspects of the student, the academics, the athletics, and the community. If he said it once to me, he said it 500 times, non-negotiable. I said, okay, I got it. It's all right. Together, we will really work to enhance the student athletes as well as the community to succeed. I believe in that vision, and what you have done in the last 5 years is incredible. And I want to thank you for having me on your team. A shout out has to go to Cindy Gillum. To Cindy, your perseverance and determination were and are the only reason I'm standing here. I got a phone call from Cindy. I had landed at Fort Lauderdale Airport. I had an hour and 45-minute drive. And she called and we spoke. And my second question to her was, so what are you doing? You know, where do you work? She said, I work at Kennesaw State. I said, oh. And I thought that she was calling me about a different matter. I said, oh, that's cool. You just fired your women's basketball coach. And she said, yeah, and she started laughing. And then she went on and on and on and on. And I kept trying to go Cindy, all I wanted to tell her was I already had a job. I had the job. But I never got it out until I pulled into Key Largo. And I finally said, Cindy, listen, I feel bad I took all this time, but I have a job. I'm not going back to coaching. She said, okay, but just think about it, let the Lord come down on you, let him think. Oh my God. And, you know, whenever people pulling out the Lord thing, you kind of get nervous, you know? But Cindy, 35 years ago, she was a student athlete at Georgia Tech. And she played for my sister, Coach McGlade. And I was the coach at Rider College. And we were in a tournament together. And she tells the story where she sat and she watched me. I was young, energetic, crazy. I'm sure berating the officials. And she really liked that, and she never forgot it. Well, Cindy, today, I'm no longer young, but I'm still crazy. But I swear I'm not berating any officials, because it doesn't do any good. It is what it is. I am so honored to be here to work with this team and to call you my own. I hope that I can push the limits in the classroom, on the court, in the community, and as I told you yesterday, personally and collectively. Dag Hammarskjöld, a poet, has a saying, "For all that has been, thanks. For all that will be, yes." So many of my former student athletes, coaches, and support staff are here today. I've had so many call me and text me, send cards, flowers. But how awesome that those of you are here to support me in my journey today. My heart smiles to see you guys, and as I look around, it's so awesome. I follow your successes, and now I get to follow your children's successes. All of you ladies are my family, and together we have won and we have lost. And to my team at Kennesaw State, we will do the same. The games, the competitions, the championships, and the rings. And yes, we are going to get a ring, and yes, you are going to get a ring, and yes, we will cut the nets down, and yes, I have told Dr. Papp that they will go, Dr. Papp and Vaughn will get up on that little ladder, and they will cut the net down, and that little piece of net, I told them they can put it on any one of their 932 owls that they have in their office, and we will get the ring. So I just told the team yesterday, I'm already planting the seed, so they can't tell us, and I know accounting's here, but they can't say, oh, budget. So I'm just letting you all know, I'm putting it out there. We want a ring, okay? No budget will interfere with that, okay? But all the games and the championships and the rings and the nets and the banners, they don't compare to all my former athletes and staff, support staff that are here, to the heart, the spirit, the loyalty, and the love that you all have given me. So to all of you wonderful former ladies and gentlemen, I've screamed at you, I've pushed you, I've begged you, I've hugged you, I've high-fived you, I've laughed at you and with you, I've cried with you, and we have celebrated together. I thank you. We all have mentors in life and people that drive us to be better. My heart about jumped out of my body 30 minutes ago when I saw Dr. Homer Rice walk in the door. Coach Rice, you spoiled me at Georgia Tech, and it's your fault. You gave a name to everything I believed in my whole life. Total person. You set the bar so high for me, and you will never know how much your leadership, your love, and your compassion has meant to me and my family. You, without a doubt, were the best athletic director I have ever had. And I told Vaughn, he better schedule lunch with you. And he said, I already had it. That was the seal. That's when the letter got signed. To my new ladies, I know many of your teammates are in class. I had my first team meeting yesterday. I spoke with them all about a week ago. We've texted, we've emailed. But yesterday, I got to meet them. And everybody was nervous for me, I think, because I got about 32 texts and emails from the whole support staff asking, how did it go with the team? How did it go with the team? And I said, well, I think they're still here. I'm so excited. And actually, I'm a little overwhelmed at the opportunity to teach, to mentor, to coach, and to educate. as well as to love you. I think together we will learn, we'll explore, and we will create everything that President Pat and Vaughn Williams and this Kennesaw State community believes in. That's something you guys and me, we're going to get to do. And everybody that's in this room and everyone in this community, all 33,500, as well as Cobb County and Atlanta, they will know who we are. We will represent Kennesaw State University. And I thank you for that. In closing, to my family and friends, for my friends that are here, there are many of you. And some of my friends that I met when I was at Georgia Tech a long time ago. And it's a testament that we're still friends, or that you're still my friend. Because I'm a terrible friend. They're really good to me. I started to think, what can I say? You know, for David and Catherine, you know, I just talk about all the times I can go to their house as a private retreat and just kind of hang out, and they don't bother me, but she makes really good sweet tea. Still doesn't understand that I don't drink sweet tea, but it's really good. David, who just sits with a cigar and lets me talk and rant and rave, probably about those officials, but Danielle, don't worry, I'm not going to be on them anymore, okay? To Lisa and Scotty, you know, you guys were there for whatever I needed. It started out as a corporate relationship. Mayfield Dairy Farm was my #1 go-to. Whenever I needed anything at Georgia Tech, it didn't matter if I needed patches for Girl Scout Day. I could call Scotty and say, I need $1,000, and he would say, okay. And it was even to the point where I'll tell a funny story, because Coach Rice is here and he'll remember this. We hosted the Olympics in Atlanta, and we were using the Coliseum, the Thriller Dome, for wrestling. And Coach Rice had a meeting with Coach Crimmins and myself and our associate AD, Bernadette McGlade. And he said, we have to come up with 10 mil. And so what do you think? What would you like to have, you know, in the gym? And Bobby said, well, I want air conditioning. And I was like, well, it's okay. But I think if you play, girls, I'm sorry, but I think, you know, sweating's good, and air conditioning does not really need it. But anyway, we went back and forth. And so Homer said, okay, well, we need to come up with a corporate plan. We have to have a corporate plan for our money. And so Bobby said, well, you know what, right away, I'll go ahead. And again, Coach Rice, I don't know if you remember this, but Bobby said, well, you know, I'll pledge $100,000. And Coach Rice said, well, that's really great. And Bobby said, you know, what about you? What about you, Ed? What about you? I mean, gender equity, Title IX, you know, what about you? And I'm like, oh my God, $100,000. I have 5 kids, 2 are in diapers. I make $43,000 to your $987,000, and I'm like, you know, we'll see. And so the next week we went back for the meeting, and Bobby said, Homer Rice said, okay, how's it coming? You know, he said, you know, I was able to get this one, Coca-Cola Chandler. Bobby said, well, okay, well, listen, I got John Sally to match my $100,000. What about you? What'd you get? And I was like, well, you know, and he's like, you know, gender equity, I mean, you want the gym, you want to share the gym, you want uniforms like the men have. Imagine, we want uniforms, you know. So I was like, okay. And Coach Rice, I know you remember this. So the third week, I leave, and I felt so much pressure. Like, where am I going to get $100,000? Like, I don't make that. I have 5 kids in school, in Catholic school, St. John Newman and Pius, and diapers, $10 a pack. I'm like, oh my God. So I'm talking to my sister Bernie, and I said, you know, we have to come up with $100,000. And Bernie said, we don't even know how many zeros that is. Like, I'm like, no, we have to do it. Like, I felt pressure. I felt internal agita, like I have to do it. I'm thinking, where can I get $100,000? So we thought, well, my family, I've, you know, 10 brothers and sisters, but they're all poorer than dirt. So I'm not going to ask them, you know, for $100,000. So all of a sudden, we said, Scotty Mayfield. Mayfield Dairy Farms. And Bernie's like, what? I'm like, yeah, like, you know what? Women are his consumer. We buy his milk, we buy his ice cream, we buy his sour cream. He doesn't really care about men. We are his product. Like I spend a lot of money at Kroger getting this. So Bernie's like, okay, well, let's set up lunch with him. And I'm like, okay. And so I call him and I say, and it was around 5:30. And it was after the third meeting of Bobby, and I'm not saying like exactly how he said to me, you need to get the money, because I'm being nice right now. I said, hey, Scotty, hey, darling, how you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm great, What's up, darling? And I said, listen, Bernadette and I were thinking about, we'd like to come down and have lunch or dinner with you. And he said, oh, darling, that would be great. How much is it going to cost me? And I said, oh, no, Scott. No, like, we don't need any money. Like, it's okay. We don't need any money. He's like, okay, darling. And I said, when would be good for you? What do you think? Maybe this week? I'd really like to do something. He was like, darling, I would love to have lunch or dinner with you. He said, but just tell me how much it's going to cost me. I'm like, no, Scotty, I'm telling you, we just really want to see you. And he's like, okay, well, the conversation went about 11 minutes. And finally, after about the ninth time of him saying, how much is it going to cost me? I blurted out, $100,000. But listen, this is how you can do it. And it's for the Coliseum. And I can go ahead and I can do a payment plan for you. But I have to have it by Wednesday's meeting. And I said, you can go ahead. And when we have this big dinner, you can represent me. Mayfield Dairy Farm, Scotty Mayfield. I said, and then I'm like, oh, crap, I just asked him on the phone. And he went, well, darling, that's a no-brainer. When do you want to have lunch? And so the next meeting, we went in. And Homer Rice said, okay, I got Delta commit to this, da-da-da-da-da. How much do we have? Bobby says, well, I got my $100,000, and I got John Sally's giving $100,000, and Mark Price now is giving $100,000. And what about you? What about you? Did you get any money? I'm like, I got $100,000. I got it. I said, I'm giving $100,000. And he went, you're lying. I said, I'm not lying. But that is what you do when you're on a team. And we will do that here. And my friends, 100,000, Vicki Miller chocolate pie. Doesn't matter. You're so special to me. And you are the reason I'm standing here. To my siblings, you're the best. My sister Teresa is here with her husband Tony, who was my hairdresser today. We like it. So Tony, you got your props, okay? He's reasonable. He'll come to your hotel. I thank you guys for being here so much. You changed your plans, and you wanted to be here to support the family. My sister Bernadette was supposed to come, but I got trump carded. Dan, Barack, and Michelle invited her to the White House this afternoon. So she's at the White House. I said I can't win with her. To Mary, Chrissy, Mickey, Sally, and Rita. And then to my brothers, Pat, Pete, Tom, and Jim. They've all been through many games, way more games than you would ever imagine. And they've always been there to hug me and to love me and to have my back. And I thank them. My mom and dad were terrific influences on me. I'm everything because of their love of family and them teaching me about the original team. My personal family. And I always say my personal family because I consider my team my family. So when people say, how's your family? I say, well, my personal one or my team? You are my number one team. Jack, to be married for 34 years to me, it has not been all roses. You're always there ready to hug me, or you know when to walk away and get out of the way. To Teresa Marie, Andrew, Joey, Claire, and Chrissy, you are my backbone, my heart, my joy, and as always, forever my favorite team. I thank you all. And when I told my kids that I was taking this job and coming to Kennesaw State, Teresa Marie texted me immediately after I got off the phone with her. And her text simply read, "Mom, we can call Atlanta home again." Thank you.